Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and otherwise. I'm Lamar Haven. Welcome to Phantasy Star 4. I may have made a wee bit error in planning this episode, but let's leave that for later. For right now, let's go into Gumbius Temple. Welcome to Gumbius Temple. We even welcome Parmenians! Congratulations! Our defining characteristic is, we're not racists! Anyway, let's head downstairs. We need to get to the torch, and the torch lies beyond. But for now, Soul Dew, Trimate, Moon Dew, Star Dew. It's almost like they're preparing us for something. Oh boy, are they preparing us for something. You may not go beyond this point. Please go back. Oh, we have to talk to somebody first, of course. We should just talk to the leader of the Gumbius Temple, I think we should find. And to the north, we will find the flame. The Statue of Flames. Are you saying this is an object of worship? I feel there used to be a tower called Corona that stood here in the past. No idea what that is. Maybe a reference to a previous game. Anyway, so that obviously isn't the flame. So maybe if we go upstairs, we can find someone to talk to. What? That won't do? The holy flame is something that should not go beyond this gate. Even if it is the wish of Lutz to lightly lend out a torch, it is not acceptable to me. Boy, you just don't get it, do you? Didn't I explain the situation? No, actually. We assumed you did, but you didn't actually explain anything. The future of the entire Algo system is hanging on this. Won't do, won't do. What can't be, can't be. I don't want to get sued, so I'm not going to put in a clip from The Wizard of Oz, but pretend I did. Huh? What's that? I'll take that, thank you very much. What the heck do you think you're doing? We are beings who live in the air castle. Hey you, the one dressed in white. If you are Lutz, you remember, don't you? You know who will be waiting for you at the air castle. I'll take possession of the Eclipse torch. If you want it back, then come and get it. That is, if you don't mind losing your life. Fantastic! What a disaster! The flames which we hold holy has been stolen! It is my punishment for being so narrow-minded. Oh, how am I to bear responsibility for this? Don't get so depressed. It was taken by force. It's not your fault. All you have to do is go and retrieve it. Oh, would you really? Thank you very much. In exchange, you better lend it to us after we recover it. Of course, yes, no question about that. Rune, about the air castle, you said you'd know about it? Oh, yes. It's in Lutz's memory, to be precise. It's a castle that floated in the skies of the planet Parma a long, long time ago. Planet Parma? In that case, it would have been destroyed 1,000 years ago. The planet Parma exploded, and there's only an asteroid belt left where the planet used to be. Could it be that miraculously the air castle survived, and even now it's in the midst of the asteroids? Probably that is very low. At any rate, I will check it out with the sensors on the Landale. Rune, I have one more question. Who's that person these witches were talking about? The first-generation Lutz and his companions fought a man in the air castle. The man's name was Lashiek. Pretty much directly stating this was from a previous game. Yes, Lashiek was a very powerful villain. Is that who they mean? Lashiek was defeated by the first-generation Lutz. I don't know what we'll find there until we get there. Well, Lutz found a way to continue on, if not directly. Is it possible Lashiek did too? Okay, so I mentioned I may have done a little miscalculating when I prepared for this episode. We have a problem. The air castle is where we're headed to now. A very amazing dungeon. One of the longest in the game, and also extremely difficult. In fact, although my guides have not been exactly batting 1,000, they suggest you get to level 37 before trying to take on their castle. I'm sorry, 34. 37 is for later. You might notice I'm not there yet. So here's what I'm going to do. In this episode, I'm going to try my very absolute best to get treasures, to show you where they are. In between episodes, I'm going to do some grinding, and then when I'm at a level I'm satisfied with, we'll take on the whole thing. Well then, let's go ahead and search for the air castle. I'm getting something. Although very slight, it is definitely something. Can you get it on the screen? I will try. So what, you just had a camera that zoomed in all that way? Or a satellite? Or ignore me. That's it! That's the air castle, alright. Has a spooky atmosphere. Ooh, are you getting a little scared, huh, Chaz? Don't be ridiculous, we're going in. No, we're not. No. Hold on just a second. We're not going anywhere until I've healed. Because my god! Alright, this place is brutal. It's going to take me a while to get through it, and we're definitely not getting it through the entire thing this episode. That said, let's head to the air castle. This place is notorious for young me. When I originally played this game on the Genesis and I would rent it, this is where I would get stuck. Gravity is normal. There's breathable atmosphere. This is clearly an artificial condition. They seem to be expecting us, huh? Alright. This place has notoriously difficult enemies, brutal boss fights, and is an incredible maze of death. So I'm going to be trying to use every resource I can find about where to go and what to do. Alright, and I'm not holding back because if I get into trouble, I will be running with my tail between my legs if necessary. I am not under any illusions that we're going to clear this out as is. Yeah! That might show you exactly what I mean. So, anybody here have a landline? It's the rascals who stole the Eclipse Torch. They're illusions. It's not just any illusions. It's an invisible barrier. That means we've got to find the real thing and defeat them. Anyway, I was just about to comment on sales calls and how much I hate them. So, if we go down here, we get into a fight! And I forgot to heal Rune! Thank you, distracting sales calls! Alright, first off, the stone heads have a lot of resistances and defenses, so you're not going to clear through them very easily. Dimension worms, however, are very good at defending against everything but magic. They also have very little hit points, but you only deal 1 damage per hit unless you use magic on them. See? Gra is usually the most effective. Let's get Rune back up and not ignore the poor guy, shall we? Alright, and then have Kira rest up folks, because we need it badly. Alright, there's 1,000 Masetta. Not much. They ain't giving you what you want very quickly. Let's get Gra out there. And attack. It's death by 1,000 cuts in here. The encounter rate is what's going to murder you most. And those guys barely give any experience compared to some of the other mobs in here. So you gotta get through them pretty quickly, or run! Don't be ashamed if you're running a lot. More enemies that are way better at taking magical damage than they are at taking regular damage, if memory serves. They're also really hard to hit. Oh, never mind. These are the exact opposite. These guys have to be killed physically. I forgot they do that to you. Alright, let's just get physical attacks out of the way. And Chaz and Rune can just have their debuffs wear off on them. Rarely do I ever cure debuffs because almost nothing causes them in the game as far as bosses. You might notice fights rarely last against random enemies, rarely last more than 2 turns. Alright, this place is... have I mentioned how many times I hate this place? This maze will drive you completely mad. Thankfully, we're not facing the tough enemies at the moment. But, as I said, death by 1,000 cuts. Don't... as I was saying, don't underestimate the enemies in here, because they will make you pay for it. Oops, I meant to heal Chaz some more. Alright. And make you pay for it, they have, although I survived, the ghost enemies that you can only attack with physical attacks, yeah, they have corrosion. And I fought 3 of them. Thankfully only one of them used it in a turn, but you can get into a situation where those guys just spam corrosion on you over and over again. It is not good. And this is not where I thought I would come out. Thank you, maps! You are so useful and helpful. Alright. 2,000 Meseta, and I'm officially lost. Just FYI. The map did not tell me this is where I'd end up. So I just went through a fight where I was attacked by enemies that use Gra on my entire party 4 times. Yeah. Not fun. This place is going to be the end of me, I can just tell. Anyway, this is where you want to go for now. But as you go up and around, you might recognize this room. Unbelievable damage from these enemies, just unbelievable. Kira needs the health heal because Rika is almost out of tech points. You don't want to go into here. That is to say, you don't want to go into this first door. You want to pass it over. First grab this, and keep heading down. We need to see the other half of this area, and it's pretty much all optional. Yay. And by mostly optional, I mean you eventually come here anyway, so wonderful. These maps are not very intuitive, let's say. 4,000 Meseta in there. Still not getting stuff we want. Keep heading up. You can find something important in here. Oh. Uh-oh. Well, let's get rid of an antidote. I have officially reached item limit. Happy times. Genoclaw, not very useful, you might notice. Since I'm so overblown on items, let's use a couple, let's use a Dimate to heal up. You probably at this point want to start burning through Dimates. They're useful, but if you're using an item to heal in battle, chances are you need something big. So a Trimate is more your speed. Alright. Let's use another Dimate, this time on Chaz, because ow! Alright. If we head down here, we should find the escape pipe. Alright, I have a little surprise, I hope. I really hope this works. But there is a way to make this place less painful. However, this doesn't really help too much if you plan on quitting the game and you're playing on like a Genesis. Bingo! Full heal, TP and HP. So, I think that might be where I leave it off for now. We're about halfway through this dungeon. It has been kicking our asses, but not all the way yet. Oh, and just to show off, here's where these guys are blocking. But they're not just blocking there. And what exactly are they protecting? Why don't we go murder some bases and find out? So thank you very much for watching. See you next time.